Good afternoon and welcome to Winchester News Online. I'm Harry Jewell and coming up today, more protests over the tense situation in Gaza. Winchester finds itself at a crossroads. And the Christmas spirit has well and truly arrived. Palestine protests continued this week. 10,000 Londoners took to the streets to advocate for the freedom of Palestine. Jodie Kelly investigates further.
Following a temporary 4-day haltage of hostilities between Palestine and Israel, protests continued across the UK last weekend, with cities such as London, Bristol and Sheffield participating in pro-Palestinian campaigning. As an estimated 1,500 Met officers handed out flyers warning against unruly behaviour, tens of thousands of Londoners travelled across the capital, calling for the reconsideration of a ceasefire, which, nearly 2 weeks ago, Westminster rejected the motion of. In a statement to WINOL News, the Palestine Solidarity Campaign, who has been organising these protests, has explained why they have been scheduling the events.
The escalation of violence we've seen since the 7th of October is almost unprecedented. Palestinians are under constant bombardment, yet our government cheers on the denial of food, water and essential supplies. We must act now in solidarity with Palestine.
So how is Winchester reacting? Our MP Steve Bryan was unable to vote due to illness, however he has provided WINOL with a statement regarding his stance. The PM set out a very sensible position. Things are moving fast, so we pray this week brings better news and both sides can somehow agree a position. Protesting is planned to continue this week. However, as compromisations continue to be made between the two states, these dates may be cancelled.
That was Jodie Kelly reporting on the Palestine protests. Winchester Hospital suffered a power outage on Thursday after a vehicle crashed into the building. Molly Keane investigates.
I'm here outside the Royal Hampshire County Hospital, just days after there was a huge power outage due to a car crash. A Range Rover collided with a door in front of the hospital's power unit. Although no one was injured because of the crash, some wards were forced to operate under emergency lighting. Patients are warned this weekend to only attend the emergency department in the case of a serious emergency. Thankfully, according to a spokesperson for the hospital, electrical engineers were able to get the generators back up and running and the hospital is functioning as normal.
Winchester's Hospital A&E department is on thin ice. A consultation is underway to decide its fate. Alice Barnes has more.
There are possible plans to close Winchester's Hospital A&E department. This could put a lot of pressure on Southampton's services. An NHS consultation has said that the hospitals in Winchester and Basingstoke are approaching the end of their usable lives. This 12-week consultation was put forward by the Hampshire and Isle of Wight Integrated Care Board. Patients will be asked their opinion on the new department which could be built off of the M3 near Basingstoke. There is currently an online petition to save the hospital services. The petition needs 15,000 signatures to keep the 24/7 accident and emergency department in place. Residents say this is the bare minimum. The future of these services are uncertain until a final review is carried out after the consultation. Back to you.
We all know how annoying it is to be waiting for trains or to be stuck in traffic, but how long should we be waiting to cross the road? In a moment, take a look at this local who has stood for around 2 minutes before he was finally able to cross the road. Tom Wilson talks us through what is being put in place to help walkers and cyclists in the city.
Take a look at how busy this road can be. 30 seconds is the average amount of time pedestrians will wait to cross the road before they start taking risks and crossing while traffic is moving. This is why Hampshire County Council will be installing a new traffic light controlled pedestrian crossing for a trial period in early 2024. To make it easier for people to cross Romsey Road at its junction with Clifton Terrace, the County Council is working with the Winchester Movement Strategy to create a safer place for local people to walk and cycle.
it's actually a real problem for people to cross. It's a route that lots of people want to cross. There's a lot of, students living on that side of the road, for example, who want to get across to the University of Winchester. And you'll often see big long queues of people backing up, pedestrians backing up, wanting to find a moment when it's safe to cross the road. And certainly when we talk to local people, they're just not confident that it's safe as things currently stand, and so they want to see a crossing there.
The appropriate traffic measures being delivered throughout the trial are a new counter-flow cycle lane. Clifton Terrace will be made no entry and only permitted to a right turn when exiting, and a section of on-street parking will be moved to the northern section by Allison Way. A traffic regulation order will be placed behind me for a maximum period of 18 months to facilitate these changes. The scheme will be monitored, and the data gathered during the trial will be used to understand the benefits and the wider impacts. Tom Wilson, Winchester News Online.
It's getting to that time of year again when everything is becoming more and more festive, especially the adverts we are seeing on TV. Although Marks & Spencer have had to cut a scene out of their advert following a social media backlash, not all of the commercials have been criticised, and Amelia Hopkinson has been looking at the message behind one of the most popular Christmas adverts this year.
This year, one Christmas advert from a pub in Ireland has taken the internet by storm. Its portrayal of a lonely elderly man has touched the hearts of people all over the world with their message of companionship. But what about those who offer companionship and care to your loved ones every day? Well, this is Emma, a Caremark carer working in Hampshire.
A good carer has to be very kind, very sympathetic, approachable, very patient and understanding of different people's needs, different people's ways of living. You can't be judgmental, you can't kind of share your ideas, you have to be a good listener and just have a really good kind of positive outlook on life to help them be positive. Some just want companionship and company and support, emotional support, and other needs are far greater depending on their disability. It's the emotional support, the mental support, and obviously the physical needs as well. The hardest part is seeing the deterioration of somebody after a fall or after a stroke, or just having their health deteriorate as they get older. The most rewarding is keeping people in their own home for as long as we possibly can, and seeing the happy face that they have when they see us arrive, the familiar face, because we're only a small team of carers, so they're familiar with us all. They get a rota every week, so they know who's coming, and the time that suits them for their routine. It's just a feeling of contentment at the end of the day.
The latest stats revealed from the charity Skills for Care show there are 40,000 positions available in Hampshire, but only 36,000 of these positions are actually filled. And things just seem to be getting worse. In the previous year, there were 25% fewer vacancies, and things just don't seem to be getting any better. Amelia Hopkinson, Winchester News Online.
More than 4 million people in the UK live with diabetes, but for many people it's undiagnosed. As part of National Diabetes Awareness Month, Alexandra Stapleton is at the University of Winchester to explain what signs and symptoms you should look out for.
Thanks, Harry. November marks National Diabetes Awareness Month, which brings everyone together to spread awareness and prevent the causes of diabetes. I spoke to Carl Roberts, a senior lecturer in nutrition and dietetics at the University of Winchester, about what she believes are a good way to prevent diabetes in young people.
But they're not using the glucose in their body correctly, so they might be peeing a lot, and that's basically the body trying to get rid of the glucose through the urine. Because they're peeing a lot, they might get quite thirsty. It can also affect your vision because the blood vessels in your eyes are very narrow, very small.
If you're concerned, please reach out to someone. That's all from me. Back to the studio.
Winchester has long been known for hosting a range of annual events, with one of the most popular and most celebrated being the Christmas market. Jacob Rayner headed down to town to have a look at what stalls are there this year.
This year marks 18 years since the Christmas market started here in Winchester, and it's still as beautiful and busy as ever. The markets bring in a great deal of tourist attraction each year, as well as generating much needed profit to help maintain Winchester's greatest attraction, the Winchester Cathedral. The cathedral hosts the event on their grounds each year and is responsible for the running and upkeep. They host a great deal of chalets, which are small roofed wooden stands, with the majority having German theme, and all of which sell something different. The Beeble Chalet is one of the most unique vendors at the market. While most apiarists or beekeepers sell normal honey as their main product, Beeble stands out by selling honey-based liqueurs.
No, I was here last year as well, but they're in a different position, but there's still the same amount of busyness and everything. Brings great traffic to Winchester, all the coaches coming in and stuff. Well, a lot of people talked about the ice rink and the fact they got rid of that. I thought that was a lot better for the Christmas market, personally. And yeah, I think it's better than the stage they have now.
The ice rink seems to be a big talking point here at the market, with many of the public seeming to prefer it to the stage that's been put in its place. We tried to contact the Cathedral Press Secretary on if the ice rink could make a return in the future, but got no comment on the matter.
The public should expect Winchester to get busier and busier as the festive season continues. So if you're around town, make sure you head down to one of the best events Winchester has to offer. Jacob Rayner, WINOL News.
Christmas has also hit the Brook Shopping Centre, which is now home to this giant 2-storey tall Christmas tree. The decorations were put up this weekend following the introduction of the centre's new late-night shopping hours. The festive scene will become a stage for 3 Winchester-based choirs, which will be forming in the upcoming weeks, entertaining all shoppers who may be around to hear. Alongside the Christmas tree, the Brook Shopping Centre has also welcomed a Christmas pop-up shop this month to celebrate the start of the festive season. Eve Thompson has more.
Winchester goes all out when it comes to Christmas. With its market ranking top 10 in the UK, it's a hotspot for many. Previous market stall owners Mandy Chalk and Graham Budd expanded their business 8 years ago, opening a pop-up shop in the Brooks.
We did the Christmas market for about 5 years, and it is quite claustrophobic in those little chalets and very late nights as well. We wanted to maybe get something bigger, and so we came over here and asked whether we could actually rent a shop here.
Mandy said she enjoyed the unity among the stall owners, however she doesn't miss being outside when the British weather hit. Mandy and Graham opened on the 1st of November and are open up until Christmas Day, giving people plenty of time to deck their halls.
We love Christmas as well. You can't not love Christmas and do something like this.
It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. Mr. and Mrs. Claus are well underway with their festivities, and the rest of the city is starting to follow suit. Eve Thompson, Winchester News Online.
That's all we have time for this week's news stories. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.